This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,712, silver at $15.11, and Bitcoin is trading around $7,749. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, 5 weeks after launching an aggressive nationwide lockdown to combat the coronavirus pandemic, coupled with one of the most robust economic relief packages of any country, New Zealand's government on Monday announced that the new coronavirus is currently eliminated in the nation. The past several days, the Mind Unleashed reports that 1 new case was reported Monday, as well as 4 probable cases and 1 new death. As the country reduces restrictions to level 3, businesses that reopen will be required to maintain physical distancing rules. Schools will reopen with limited capacity, and workers will still be encouraged to work from home if they are able to. Events such as weddings and funerals will only be able to take place with up to 10 people in attendance, and public buildings such as museums, libraries, and gyms will remain shuttered for the time being. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. FBI agents in hazmat suits, equipped with respirators, raided a medical clinic last week after a doctor reportedly gave high-dose vitamin C to essential workers who may be exposed to COVID-19. The Free Thought Project reports that on Thursday, the FBI, along with the Department of Health and Human Services, raided Allure Medical Spa on 26 Mile Road in Van Dyke in Shelby Township in Michigan, just before 8 a.m., according to a report from Fox 2. Though no arrests were made, the FBI said they are looking at evidence to find out more information about the vitamin C treatments. To be clear, Dr. Mock, who was accused of giving the treatments, was not trying to hide the services. He was openly advocating for them on local media, noted that they were accepting insurance for them, and even offered them for free to essential workers. As the United States faces unprecedented meat shortages due to processing plants going offline in response to the coronavirus, a long-standing globalist agenda to halt meat consumption is being fulfilled. Activist Post reports that Tyson Foods recently warned that the food supply chain is breaking. Lockdowns have created a situation in which farmers have nowhere to send their product, and in turn, millions of animals are being slaughtered. Additionally, vegetables that would normally end up on store shelves are rotting in the field. Despite the reality, Twitter has announced that talk of food shortages will be censored. Lab-grown meat producers are hoping that the COVID-19 outbreak could boost public acceptance. As Bill Gates was working to establish a worldwide digital ID system prior to the pandemic, he was also working to end meat production and funding lab-grown meat. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
NASA announced the discovery of a mile-wide asteroid this week that could potentially trigger a global level of extinction, forcing upscale fashion retailer Nordstrom out of business. Researchers confirm that the celestial object is traveling at speeds exceeding 29,000 miles per hour, threatening to slam into the planet with more than 1 million megatons of force, enough to jeopardize operations at all 117 full-line Nordstrom locations.
Unless we can find some way to divert or intercept the asteroid, all 7 billion people on Earth, including all 62,500 Nordstrom employees, may die. Even if the asteroid breaks into smaller pieces upon entering to the atmosphere, a death toll as low as several hundred million could still slow foot traffic in stores and reduce online orders from Nordstrom's subsidiary, Hotlook.
Humanity is surprised it still hasn't figured out an alternative to letting power-hungry assholes decide everything. And a magical office worker is able to turn everything he touches into more work for his colleagues.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And we were discussing before the show the various impacts that responses to the coronavirus has had. And one of these is that Universal Studios has moved to an all-digital distribution. What exactly does that mean?
Well, I haven't actually gone to their website and ordered this, but I have heard people talking about it. From what I understand, I think they're charging $20. So for a first-run movie, the one that they started with was called Trolls 2. I've never heard of Trolls 1, but apparently it was successful enough to make a second one.
Yep.
But the little troll dolls that you might have seen when you were growing up or whatever, those are the characters. And anyway, this was they would have released it in theaters, but theaters were closed down all across the United States by government fiat saying you have to close these businesses. And so
to make sure I understand, what they've done is they've created their own version of Disney Plus or whatever for their own movies.
Basically,
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
They've got their own streaming service. And
because that's what we needed, right? Was yet another streaming service.
well, they may end up teaming up with other streaming services, offering a deal to Netflix or something like that. And who knows what we'll see with other companies. But Universal presumably is doing this themselves, or maybe they've white labeled. Maybe Netflix did the back end guts of the system for them, but they white labeled it for Universal. I don't know. But regardless, you can go and you can drop $20, which, if you think about it, as far as a family is concerned, that's a good deal. I mean,
it's a good deal for a movie.
That's what I mean.
But at the same time, I sort of agree with Aria here. Is that the streaming thing was supposed to be a really low cost alternative to cable, right? Like you get the Amazon Prime or you get the Netflix. You pay $8, $9, $10 a month.
Yes,
And
but
I'm not done yet, Ian.
Okay.
$8, $9, $10 a month, and then you got all the content that you could possibly enjoy, and that's great. It's awesome. And then Netflix, and then Amazon, and then Hulu, and then then you got to get Universal, then you got to have Disney Plus, and I'll bet you Disney no longer releases a single darn movie to Netflix and Amazon, and now we're right back to the cable bill at $50 a month because
cable for $50 a month? No, not for all the channels you're talking about. It'd be at least $100 a month for cable.
At this point, cable has not yet quite reached its pinnacle, but I'll bet it's right there at the price pinnacle, and then it's going to go because people don't care anymore. They're not getting their distribution. Old people are, the same way that we read, as recently as 10 years ago, we read an article on air about somebody that was still renting their home telephone from AT&T, which was known at the time as Bell.
Wow.
And
they were old.
And they were old, they'd gotten this phone, and back then in 1964 or whatever, you had to rent a phone because you couldn't buy one because everything was a monopoly through Ma Bell. And there's still going to be some of that around with cable, but they're not going to be able to get that kind of money that they were getting at one point, where if you want the whole viewing experience, this 672 channels or whatever, you had to fork out $100 a month, and that's changed.
I suspect that even if you did get all the major streaming services, it would still be less than it would cost to get all the cable packages.
It would
from your
because
cable
Disney
company.
owns Hulu, and they provide it in a bundle for like $12.99, so it's not that bad. Netflix is relatively cheap, but Amazon Prime Video has its own cost, and Netflix's content, it sucks. They have,
Does it?
they have almost no shows, no movies. This is why they're pushing their original content so hard because
I don't know. You watch way
because
more movies than I do, but I've got more movies on my Netflix list than I'll ever be able to watch in my lifetime.
Yeah, but isn't your Netflix, you still get it delivered via like a CD?
Yeah, I get the DVDs and or the Blu-rays mostly.
Netflix may not still have a lot of those movies by the time you get around to watching them.
I don't know about that,
And-
but I mean, they got a physical copy of the thing, so I mean, you're saying they have to send them back or something like that?
I don't know how the disc. I didn't even know that Netflix still offered that.
Yeah, that's the way I do it. I mean, I just sit on the discs for like 3 months, so I'm the customer they love, right? Like I don't actually watch any of the movies hardly. But regardless, what I was saying here, and Ari is backing me up, is that if you add together the costs of these streaming providers, you probably aren't even getting to $50 a month. And your typical cable subscription, you talk to cable customers, they're paying $80, $90, $100, $120 or more per month for those cable channels.
You
So
can
it's
get
cheaper
the
just on that.
basic cable for like, $30, $40, $50 a month.
Yeah, that's the first 20 channels.
Right, and I'm not, and at that point, that's all the content that you could watch. And when I had my,
It's not all the content you want to watch.
That's
You have
true.
a much greater selection from companies like Netflix and,
Yes.
and Hulu and things like that.
well, right,
And
and-
on demand.
I went to Amazon Prime and I was like, this is so great. Not only do I get this delivery that's, that I wouldn't pay for on its own, but with it, I get this channel where I can watch all the stuff I could possibly watch, and I can buy some movies that I want to see,
Sure.
and those kind of things. And that was really awesome. I liked all that experience.
So
but,
when did it go sour for you?
well, what I'm trying to say, then Disney Plus came out.
Okay.
And Disney Plus likely is, my guess is that the Avengers Endgame is the last Avengers movie that you're going to be able to buy on Amazon Prime, because why would Disney Plus give up their content to another provider and take a piece of the pie when they could just sell pies?
I don't know.
And
That sounds like an intellectual property problem to me rather than an objection to a distribution system.
well,
I would agree.
the distribution system has all kinds of inherent intellectual property problems. I mean,
But the
all
problems
I'm
you're
saying-
describing, are you complaining because you have to go to a different place to get the thing you want to see than the place you've gone previously? That's what you're complaining about. You're mad because you have to go to a different place and you have to pay an entry fee into that place.
Yeah, I'm mad about, like, at some point in the relatively near future, I'm guessing that year is going to be 2021. There's going to be enough distribution platforms that you're like, well, Universal put out this movie and Sony put out this movie and Disney put out this movie, and then that's it. Like, you've got to go through all these big providers to be able to see these movies. And mind you, I am watching something on Netflix right now called Last Kingdom, and it's awesome.
Well, you know what
But
the
it's original
solution
content.
is? The solution will be to do again what we did in the early 2000s, which is just torrent the things. If they want to make it this complicated, this expensive, just torrent them.
Yeah,
They're
that's what's
all
gonna
on the
happen.
Pirate Bay, so go there.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about Netflix and the insane intellectual property that created this mess in the first place.
Agreed. I think that's what'll probably happen.
Okay, so to come back to your original question, Ari, about like what are they doing? I don't know which website it is. I haven't looked that deeply into it. I presume Universal has their own site, or maybe they did team up with.
UniversalStudios.com.
You looked at it? That's
Yeah,
where
I
they're
went
doing
there
the
when we were
movies?
talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, so
You can stream 1917 here,
Yep.
Candyman, The Invisible Man.
Yep. What they
Last
did was
Christmas.
they started out with Trolls, and they did the few that you just mentioned, which I guess had already been out for like a week or two. So they
Yeah,
were
I
in
saw
theaters.
1917 in the theater.
Right. So they were in theaters for like a moment, and then the theaters shut down. So they said, well, we already had these in theaters. We'll put these out, and we'll do the Trolls 2 exclusively just on this platform. And I don't know what they've come out with since then. I don't know if they've kept coming out with movies.
Yeah, I don't
or
know if
it's been-
anything's exclusive on this platform. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on the website.
But this was enough for AMC theaters to make the announcement that they are no longer going to play ball with Universal, according to CNBC.com. By the way, they're the world's largest movie theater operator for the moment, and they said today they would no longer play Universal Studios films, or said it yesterday, in their theaters globally.
We're shut down, and we're not playing any movies.
Right.
But we're not going to play
Your
Universal's movies. I mean, it's almost It's difficult to say whether or not this is a good idea, because maybe it will cause Universal to back off. I doubt it, but it looks like a dead man's gamble, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, Universal's making money while AMC is making zero.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal reported that the animated sequel to Trolls had been more profitable for Universal than the original because of its on-demand release.
Now, I'm looking at the press release here from NBCUniversal.com, and it leaves a terrible taste in my mouth.
Now, which
NBC
what
Universal, a press release from January 16th.
Okay.
Unveils Peacock, a free, premium, ad-supported streaming service with subscription tiers.
And that's where they're showing the movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Just loaded with buzzwords. It's free. It's premium. It's supported by ads. It has subscription tiers.
All of it.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live, or check out the Discord server at discord.freetalklive.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556, or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556, ICAGoldSilver.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site. And all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. Now, we're talking about this rift between AMC and Universal Studios, and we looked into it a little bit more during the break. This Peacock thing is the Universal Studios streaming service that is going to be coming online sometime in July.
Right. And we also learned that the streaming platform, as far as how to watch Trolls 2 or The Invisible Man or the two other movies that they're currently offering in streaming, is not actually run by Universal. They've teamed up with what appears to be at least 7 different companies. So YouTube's got the movies, what was it? I don't have it in front of me. Prime Video, Google Play, Fandango Now, Xfinity, which is Comcast, and a couple of others, Apple TV.
Noticeably absent is Netflix.
Netflix is not there. They must not have been able to cut a deal with them for whatever reason. But essentially what the story is saying is that Universal has made more money on Trolls 2 than they did on the original, and they are attributing that to the on-demand release. So
yeah. It used to be that when, Skippy the soccer dog came out and went straight to video, that was bad. But now, with this, it's been long enough that big screen TVs have been something close to free at Walmart.
Isn't capitalism wonderful? As you were pointing out earlier, used to just 15, 20 years ago, you wouldn't find one of these big screen televisions in someone's home unless they were upper middle class at least.
I remember my sort of
and
rich
they were
friends.
Massive.
Yeah, my rich friends had one, and it was probably a 45-inch screen TV. Nothing huge by today's standards, but there were these things that you had to watch special in order to see the HD effects. And usually it was some kind of nature scene, and you could really see in there. It's like, wow, this is great. It's kind of like watching an aquarium, like everything's so vivid and real. This is better than real life. I love it. And now everybody's got that. And
and then some. The 4K televisions now completely dwarf the 480p ones that were running around then.
Right. I got one for, I think, $500. It was a 55-inch from Walmart 10 years ago that the speakers blew out on, probably 4 years ago, and a friend of mine gave me his used surround sound system because he was upgrading. So this was the cheapest low-cost system that you could get. So I'm sitting here with this old junk, and it's great. It's a huge experience because it's that 780 whatever p. It's as good as you need as far as I'm concerned. But every time I see the Blu-ray, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a little better.
I did pull up some of the differences here. So there's another story that goes into what the business is between movie theaters and companies like Universal and now these new deals with the streaming companies and Universal. And they're saying it's a huge difference. So according to the story at CNBC.com, Trolls World Tour, which is the sequel, the one that they're talking about here, was made as a digital rental on April 10th for $19.99. So as we were pointing out, you got a whole family, you're going to save money by renting this. So even though, like, for a single person, $19.99 is like, well, that's a lot of money. I don't want to spend that kind of money on just watching a movie by myself. But if you got 3-4 people sitting in the room, they don't care how many people you've got in the room. They don't know how many people you've got in the room. So now you're talking about, what would you spend if you, Laura, and Jack were to go out to the movies? What are you going to be dropping? Even in Keene, let alone like New York City or Boston or something like that.
$35
at least, right? That's if you like maybe don't get the candy and the popcorn and the drinks.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean, sometimes Laura breaks weak, and then Jack can talk her into popcorn and candy.
Yeah,
but no, I mean,
then
usually
you're up to $50.
If I go to see a movie on my own, she sends me with a bag of carrot sticks.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got to
Plus,
sneak
if you
them
go
in.
to the movies, you got to deal with a room full of packed people. Half of them will be talking,
crying children, the whole thing.
I never had that particular experience.
Well, yeah, but you talk to people on the airplane.
And you can't pause the movie to go to the bathroom or whatever, right? So there's all kinds of reasons. So with that $20 price tag, they racked up nearly $100 million in rentals, and we're still not even done with a month here, right? It's been 3 weeks. Said a person familiar with the deal. Now, while this figure is smaller than the $153.7 million that the first Trolls film collected at the box office, the revenue that Universal secured from this was actually about the same for the two films. Now, according to the story, the theaters typically take about 50% of box office sales, depending on the deal that was struck with the studio. Sometimes the theater might take a little less, but so Trolls only deposited around $77 million of the total $150 and change million from the first Trolls. But by comparison, Universal retained about 80% of the digital rental numbers. Yeah. So they actually pulled in more, even though the movie itself didn't gross as much as its predecessor. Universal made more because of the arrangement with the streaming providers. They don't have to pay as much. There's not as much overhead, right? Like they don't have to rent a building and, have all these employees cleaning up, and there's huge costs to running a movie theater.
This is a positive thing,
It is.
Well, it's the inevitable of what was going to occur. And I guess my next question
it's been
is,
hastened by this
what
situation.
are we going to do with all of these empty movie theaters? Because it's quite possible, reading this news story,
put home plays in them,
that the movie theaters that that were shut down temporarily, like it's quite possible Donald Trump killed movies.
Well, I don't know if it was Trump. I mean, it was the governors around the United States that made these crackdowns.
Don't you think that
Trump has supported this?
Right.
But,
First, it was like, now we got to shut down, and then okay.
But the bar and liquor industry will survive. It will carry on.
Yes.
So movies killed movies.
Well, look, this is something that you could argue was coming, but it's not over yet. I mean, these theaters are mad, and AMC is now going to cut off business with Universal NBC, which is a subsidiary of Comcast.
That's a big producer of movies. I don't know how, I don't know how many there are.
AMC is the biggest theater chain on the planet.
Yeah.
Quote, AMC believes that with this proposed action to go to the home and theaters simultaneously, Universal's breaking the business model and dealings between our two companies, said their chief executive officer. So again, it's that whole, we were here first. We were, your number one go-to. We made you billions of dollars.
The First Wives Club.
Yeah, and
I gave you the best years of my life.
Universal should then tell them, okay, where is your streaming service then?
They actually have one.
AMC does?
AMC. I'm looking at their app right now.
Well, why didn't they make Universal an offer? Hey,
they may have.
I think the reason is because nobody uses their streaming service.
Yep, because it sucks.
That's probably a factor.
Probably.
I don't know if it sucks
they
or
might
not.
have wanted more money too.
It's just that it's just another streaming service, and this is what I was talking about in the early part of this. Is that everybody's going to have a streaming service, and you're supposed to buy them all now.
But, in the grand scheme of things, I think this is good. Movies already have to be obscenely profitable to even risk being made at this point.
Right.
Bringing down the profit they need to make to be successful, I think is positive. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
I wanted to ask your listeners about the religion and the people who practice Wicca. What do they think their agenda is? Is it to take over the world, or?
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
I mean, because they're somewhat of bullies.
They're bullies? What do you mean?
They bully with the religion themselves. A lot of people are afraid of them.
Can you give me an example?
The Tea Party.
The Tea Party has to do with Wicca?
Well, it's mostly because they're so secretive.
So
the Wiccans.
The Wiccans are secretive, and they have a lot of numbers, and they've infiltrated the Tea Party?
Well, they use them, like, for instance, the breakdown of Obamacare. That could very well have been the Wiccans using their power to break down the computers.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And the rumors are that Justin Amash is going to seek the Libertarian Party's presidential candidacy.
And this seemed likely with sort of the way that Amash was acting compared to
like a little Gary Johnson, yeah.
The other, I don't know what you mean by that. The other sort of
a little fish in a big pond who wanted to be a big fish in a small pond.
Okay, so the Tea Party Republicans out there like Massey and Cruz and a variety of them have towed the line to some extent. Amash has basically said, "If y'all liberty and stuff, right? And
I don't know that he has, but he has. I think Massey has probably done that more than Amash.
But Massey hasn't told the president to go pound sand, whereas Amash certainly has.
Okay.
I
mean, Democrats have said the same, and I wouldn't want them to be the
but they're not.
Libertarian president.
Democrats weren't likely to run for a presidential campaign against. Like the Democrats weren't going to be Republicans. So Amash was acting like somebody who didn't want to be a Republican. If Amash wasn't going to be a Republican, certainly the Democrats weren't going to take him. In which case, what was he going to do? Which is, it was pretty obvious he was going to run as a Libertarian, which I believe I suggested. He sounds like somebody who's going to try to run for president as a Libertarian. And it looks like he's going to try to run as president for Libertarians. And here he's saying something to the effect of he's like he wouldn't run if he didn't think he could win. So there you go.
Before we get too deeply into it, let's go to the phones. We got Larry calling from Indianapolis. Larry, you're on Free Talk Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want to talk about female journalists, but first I want to say something. I was out today, and all these medical centers got signs on them, heroes work here. People, every time you get, those people don't want to be bothered. They don't want people coming and slobbering all over them. Every time we have something like this, the first responders or anybody involved on the front line that are getting paid to do their job, people start slobbering on them like a damn dog. Anyway, the female journalists. I watched MSNBC, right? I was at my friend's house a little bit today. It's really horrifying to watch these newscasters and the journalists who are out in the field dealing with people and interviewing people, because they are coming from a totally different perspective, and they don't have any credibility because they're coming from an emotional standpoint. I mean, I looked at them today. I mean, most of them look like...
Larry, are these the same journalists who you were saying yesterday looked like they were having orgasms?
Yeah, they're having orgasms when they talk to Trump. When they get a tough interview, their hair stands up, their lips get starting acting funny, they start ringing and twisting. They look like they're actually getting off. And some of the men, the same thing. Like that one boy named Jack Lemmon. When he talks about Trump, he really is, he's like a rooster. But I tell you, it's so incredible. And Dr. Fauci, I seen him for the first time today. He looks like some big nose, looks like Groucho Marx.
Isn't Jack Lemmon like super dead?
No.
Don. I think he means Don Lemon or Lamont or whatever.
Boy.
Oh, God, you cannot call black people colored
He's black.
on the air.
He's black.
I know, but you still can't do that.
Oh, come on now. Hey, look.
People of color is the currently... Hold on, Larry. People of color is currently the politically correct terminology.
Is it?
Boy is not.
He's black. I didn't say boy.
I'm telling you.
Larry said it, not you.
Okay, you just said. This is a good program because you let people get their points across.
But I think what Larry was saying, Mark, is that Don Lemon, or however you pronounce his last name,
Lemon.
I've heard Vincent pronounce it Lemon, so it's the only way I've heard it pronounced.
Right.
But he gets
Maybe
it wrong
he's
sometimes.
French. It's Lemon.
It may be,
Well,
but he's younger. He's younger than you, right, Larry? So he's like a boy to you.
What he is. How's that now?
He's younger. You called him a boy. He's younger than you, right?
He is a boy. I thought, hey, you know what I got that from? When I was a younger man, I used to hang around with old men all the time. And when you call them a boy, that makes them feel young. See what I mean? But
I do not see what you mean.
Well, I'm from a different culture, but looking at it from a different point of view. But I'm just talking about these female journalists and newscasters. They look horrible on television. Some of them are working from home, and they look so wrung out when they get their time to come on camera. They look like they've been watching porn all day. That's what they look like.
Larry, thank you so much for the call. I don't watch a lot of newscasters and journalists, and if I can't read about it, then I'm not going to pay any attention to it. But
Don Lemon, Rachel Maddow, and all the rest of the boys. I mean, this is wow.
I've certainly never seen what Larry is describing.
I don't know. Like, it's really important to understand that Larry has a unique perspective on things. You can look him up online. I can't remember what his last name is off the top of my head, but I think if you look up Larry in Indianapolis...
He said it before, on the air.
And if you just look up Larry in Indianapolis and do a Google image search, you will find a picture of a black man with a T-shirt that says "slave" on it. There it is.
Is that really Larry from Indianapolis?
So he claims.
Okay, so he's famous enough to get his Google search up there. Good on him.
Yeah, so critics of IPS school board endorsed challengers.
Yeah, he goes to like city council meetings and speaks and things like that. So he's kind of a go-getter.
A local celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the story that we were discussing.
Yeah, so Justin Amash, I mean, who is this guy, Mark? I mean, you talk about him excitedly, but maybe some people don't know who he is. I've heard he's a representative.
Yeah, he's a rep. I'm not going to claim to be a Justin Amash expert or anything like that, but...
Well, you're excited about him.
He is, right. He's my favorite representative in there. I like him the most. Now that's, again, it's like, looking around and picking your favorite scab. But, he gets it, right? He understands the ideas of liberty, and he talks about the Constitution.
Would he be a representative if he understood the concept of liberty?
Ron Paul
It depends on how far you have to go,
That's
right?
fair.
Like, there are solutions to the problem that may not be your solutions, right? Like, you have to
They don't have to
understand
be
it's
my
possible.
solutions. Just leave me alone to use my solutions.
Sure. And to the best I can tell, he is one of the best at leaving you alone among them. Now, admittedly, he has worn the badge of people who have not been so good, but that's, it's
what does that mean, he's worn the badge? You talking
He's
about
a representative.
Republican?
He's a Republican. He's a representative and a Republican at one time.
Well, there's a Reason.com interview with Amash that was done within the last, 24 hours. It was just published today. And he does address, or they do ask him about his position on abortion. They say here that your positions, as I know them, are the Libertarian Party's and the Libertarian Party's platform, as I know it, have a lot of overlap. They're pretty congruent in many ways. A strong exception to that would be abortion. Can you explain your position on that as it intersects with federal government policy? What are your preferences on what the federal government should do or what a Supreme Court should do having to do with abortion? And then he gives a pretty lackluster response. He says, well, I'm pro-life, and I believe the 14th Amendment provides a strong federal basis for protecting life. But I think the most important thing the federal government can do is not fund abortion, and I think there's probably broad support for that in the Libertarian Party. And he's probably right about that, but that's basically where it ends. He says to ensure the federal government is not funding abortions because they shouldn't be funding something that is controversial to millions of Americans. But he doesn't say what he thinks they should do. He sort of alludes to it by saying that the 14th Amendment provides a strong federal basis for protecting life. So he suggests that he might want to do something more than not fund it.
More on this Justin Amash can of worms in just a moment, and the abortion issue, 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required, only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Now, with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses, your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nano-colloidal silver from Americare, our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nano-colloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power, but there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control, and you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733, and with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And we were just discussing Justin Amash's divergences from the Libertarian Party, one of which seems to be the abortion issue. And Mark, you said you had something you wanted to say about that.
Well, so first off, I would say that abortion isn't a libertarian issue, and the fact that Ian brings it up is obviously shows what that shows me is that Amash obviously is pretty darned libertarian. If what you're asking somebody is, because I mean, only humans can have human rights, right? And freedom's a human right.
I would disagree against the discriminatory language you're using.
What?
I would say that all living beings have the same rights, human or not.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do, and I recognize that that's a violation of their rights.
Excellent. Okay.
We had this discussion.
We actually talked about it last night.
Okay, so I agree that animals have rights too. I think that we could have a long, interesting conversation about it, but I did say human rights. And what I mean by that is that only humans can have human rights. And so if humans only
So we
humans,
just create this club that only the cool kids can get in?
I
and
think
screw
that
all
there are
the other
rights that
kids?
would be exclusive to humans because they can claim rights differently than animals can. So, for instance, I would not release those tigers from Tiger King right there in Oklahoma, even though they may deserve
Well, they wouldn't
to
be
be
there
free.
if their rights hadn't been violated in the
That-
first
well,
place.
Wait,
pointing
if
out.
that no, just pointing out nothing. They either have rights or they don't. They
Yes,
either need to
they
be
do.
released now in Oklahoma. 1,200 tigers, ligers, and lions roaming about Omaha or wherever, Enid, and
No, see, that
gobbling
would be
people.
a silly solution. They should be
Yes, it's
taken
a silly
home.
solution, right?
They should be taken home.
But let's not forget, no, you cannot. Many of these tigers aren't. They're hybrids of different tigers, so you can't take them home. They have no home. All right. So, okay, you've just
Their
used
parents have a home.
You have just said who will pick the cotton for tigers. Okay. They
don't think
either
I don't
deserve
think
to
I
be
said that
free
at all.
or they don't.
Yes,
and if
they
they
do
deserve to be free, they deserve to be free where they are.
No, because they wouldn't be where they are if their rights weren't violated in the first place.
They were born in captivity.
Yes, because their parents' rights were violated.
All right. I don't know how to address this with you. This is absolute nonsense. Would you like to talk about Justin Amash and
You're the one
abortion,
who brought up
or do you want to
releasing
keep
tigers.
derailing things?
You brought this up, Mark.
I said humans can have human rights, and you're like, I don't like your discriminatory language.
You did ask a question about whether or not I agree with the statement about human rights. And I was like, no, I don't
I
like
said,
it.
right. Humans can have something to the effect of, can only humans have human rights? And then you're like,
no, you said, can only humans have like the right to freedom
nope,
or something
not true.
like that.
I said human rights, and I remember specifically.
I think you remember wrong.
And our listeners will go back and listen. So, going on, making the statement again. I believe that only humans can have human rights. Thus, it would depend on when human life started.
That wasn't what you said, but okay, go ahead.
I disagree.
All right. Two against one, you lose.
Fine. That's how I expect it to be tonight. Every single time. Get the two loonies on. So only humans can have human rights. Therefore, it matters when human life begins. So Justin Amash's stance that abortion is killing of a human is consistent if he believes that human life begins at conception.
Yeah, and this is the problem with this issue, the abortion issue, when it comes to libertarians, because they don't all agree on what defines a life.
Right.
They don't all agree on where
Well,
a
because
life
the definition
begins.
is flawed.
And they all have different definitions. They all have different opinions and, backings for those opinions. Although I did find a story when looking further at this guy and what his beliefs might be, because again, he didn't really reveal much to Reason.com in the question that they asked. But there's a headline here from 2012, MLive.com, which is a major Michigan news site. Apparently, he has lost the support of a group called Right to Life. They dropped him because he voted as present in a vote against defunding Planned Parenthood. So he did not vote yes or no. He voted as present in that case, and that was enough for them to drop him. And they also cited a vote against legislation outlawing sex selection abortions as those against the group's position. So a vote by Amash against legislation that would outlaw sex selection abortions, whatever that means.
Well, that means that if you want to have a boy or a girl, you would abort babies that weren't of that gender.
Okay.
Excuse me, sex. Sorry, Aria.
So, but libertarians, they don't agree on this issue, and it's not really clear what he, might actually believe. Would he want to prohibit all abortions? I don't know.
They just have to agree to disagree in good faith with one another, which essentially is the Libertarian Party's official position.
The best libertarian position on this issue is for the government to not fund it, which he says he agrees with, and for them to not prohibit it, which Reason did not press him about and did not ask him about.
Well, I think that Ron Paul took the position that states that abortion should be a states' rights issue because states handle
that's a good
murder
out
and
for him.
Murder and manslaughter, and therefore the question I would have for you is why in the world would a federal politician possibly give out their stance if their stance is pro-life? every issue every time, but they believe that should be done by the states, and they're not a state-level politician. Why would they say anything more than, look, I don't think this is a federal issue. I don't think the federal government should be involved. That's the single best out, and frankly, it just shows that they know what their job is.
To be deceitful? To try to win over the right to
because
life
people give a damn about this stupid issue.
Yes,
Let me
but
tell
he's not
you why
doing
they
anything-
shouldn't give a damn about this stupid issue.
He's not doing anything about the issue, though. He's just appeasing the right to life crowd while passing it off to somebody else to deal with.
He should appease the right to life crowd. He agrees with them that it's a human life starts at a certain point.
Amash does, sure. But Ron Paul pushing it down to the states is doing nothing.
That's what Amash
to-
is doing too.
Well, I
Well,
haven't
he didn't
seen
say
that.
anything
I haven't
about-
seen that statement. He didn't
Not that
mention
statement, but that's what it looks like. If he's voting present and all those sorts of things, he's saying that this is not an issue.
Well,
that the
he's
federal...
voted on other things.
All right, man.
I don't know if I want to say that, he seems to fall on the position of the states' rights crowd.
It seems more likely.
I mean, in the aggregate, the guy is going to be a lot better than Donald Trump or Joe Biden. So certainly, I mean, if the Libertarian Party nominates him, he's probably going to get my vote. I'm not a single issue voter or anything like that. So
There
I
are
try to
people
take
who
the-
single issue on that issue, and
And I
that's
think
why
you're right that-
you step around that landmine unless it's the one that you really care about.
If he had Ron Paul's position on it, I wouldn't find that to be offensive. Okay, pass it to the states. That's fine. If
At least then there's competition.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Tennessee wants to ban it, okay.
I don't
drive
understand
across
why
the border.
Republicans take this issue, and especially the Christian conservative types. I don't know why they get this issue all bound up.
They're
in this
hypocrites. They say that life's important to them, and then they drop bombs on people in the Middle East.
There are people that are pro-life every issue every time. They're certainly not terribly consistent. But to me,
Well, if you're dropping bombs on the Middle East or supporting it, then you're not pro-life by definition.
I like the answer I gave in that one crowd when we were at Freedom Fest, and the guy, tries to bring it up and pigeonhole us on the issue, and I'm like, look,
is this when we were doing that thing in that little panel that we had?
The little panel discussion, and the guy's like, wanted to know about it, and I asked him, are people who get abortions more or less likely to be statists? And he said, more likely, a lot more likely to be statists. And I'm like, great. So the statists are running a genocide on themselves. Why am I supposed to care? Yeah. Do I think it's the ending of a human life? I do. But most humans are statists. So I like my chances.
So your position terrifies me. So you're okay with the deaths of people as long as they're statists?
I don't have the decision. I don't get to make the decision.
But if most of the people going to abortion clinics were not statists,
if most of
would
the
that
people
affect your
going to
position
abortion
on the issue?
clinics were highly intelligent, upper middle class, libertarians, I'd be like, gosh, why are we doing this to each other? But that's
if
not
it
what's
was-
happening. It's not, though. I mean, like, that's fiction. That's science fiction. That's ridiculous fiction, right?
So instead of being a genocidal compound, it would become a eugenics compound.
Oh, well, it's just because, presuming that's the case, sure.
Like
Whatever.
it's okay for the poor and stupid people to go get abortions.
I
But
think
these
it's
fine, upstanding
I
white
think it is
libertarians,
eugenics.
No.
I think it's in fact a eugenics program that has been purported on the poor and stupid. Yes.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
I mean, wasn't that how it was initially founded in the first place? By people
I hear
who
that
were-
there's connections.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never looked into them because I don't care that much about the
There's this
issue.
gal Sanger, and they use her as this pivot point, and I don't know. The liberals say great things about her, the conservatives say terrible things about her, and you can go ahead and do your research and come up to your own decision. As far as I'm concerned, once again, it's just not an issue I care that much about.
Yeah. And we'll see what Justin Amash really has to say about it. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,712, silver at $15.11, and Bitcoin is trading around $7,749. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, 5 weeks after launching an aggressive nationwide lockdown to combat the coronavirus pandemic, coupled with one of the most robust economic relief packages of any country, New Zealand's government on Monday announced that the new coronavirus is currently eliminated in the nation. The country's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, said Monday that while cases are not at zero, new cases have been in the single digits for the past several days. The Mind Unleashed reports that 1 new case was reported Monday, as well as 4 probable cases and 1 new death. As the country reduces restrictions to level 3, businesses that reopen will be required to maintain physical distancing rules. Schools will reopen with limited capacity, and workers will still be encouraged to work from home if they are able to. Events such as weddings and funerals will only be able to take place with up to 10 people in attendance, and public buildings such as museums, libraries, and gyms will remain shuttered for the time being. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. FBI agents in hazmat suits, equipped with respirators, raided a medical clinic last week after a doctor reportedly gave high-dose vitamin C to essential workers who may be exposed to COVID-19. The Free Thought Project reports that on Thursday, the FBI, along with the Department of Health and Human Services, raided Allure Medical Spa on 26 Mile Road in Van Dyke in Shelby Township in Michigan, just before 8 a.m., according to a report from Fox 2. Though no arrests were made, the FBI said they are looking at evidence to find out more information about the vitamin C treatments. To be clear, Dr. Mock, who was accused of giving the treatments, was not trying to hide the services. He was openly advocating for them on local media, noted that they were accepting insurance for them, and even offered them for free to essential workers. As the United States faces unprecedented meat shortages, Due to processing plants going offline in response to the coronavirus, a long-standing globalist agenda to halt meat consumption is being fulfilled. Activist Post reports that Tyson Foods recently warned that the food supply chain is breaking. Lockdowns have created a situation in which farmers have nowhere to send their product, and in turn, millions of animals are being slaughtered. Additionally, vegetables that would normally end up on store shelves are rotting in the field. Despite the reality, Twitter has announced that talk of food shortages will be censored. Lab-grown meat producers are hoping that the COVID-19 outbreak could boost public acceptance. As Bill Gates was working to establish a worldwide digital ID system prior to the pandemic, he was also working to end meat production and funding lab-grown meat. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Following morning reports indicating that Philadelphia High School for the Performing Arts student Samantha Bylum deals with really weird social pressures on a daily basis, Onion reporters met with the 16-year-old dance student who described feeling regularly alienated from her peers for extremely bizarre reasons.
If you're not up to date on the latest urban street art or Esperanza Spalding albums, the other students will eat you alive. It can get pretty brutal. Just the other day, everyone cut class to go watch the $1 Million Quartet musical at the Forest Theater, but nobody told me. Now I'm the only one that hasn't seen Lance Guest's rendition of Folsom Prison Blues. It's humiliating.
According to Bylum, the school year shows no sign of letting up as she continues dealing with the everyday stresses of auditioning for the school's production of My Fair Lady, keeping up with the latest punk Afrofusion dance groups, and not having enough fishnet sleeves to wear throughout the week.
Honestly, I don't know how the other students deal with it.
Keep checking theonion.com for more as this story develops.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. And you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Hey, it's Ian.
And Mark.
And a lot of Americans are getting sick of staying at home, it would sound like, even though the polls all show that Americans predominantly support staying at home, not ending the lockdown. Maybe that's true, but the polls also showed that Hillary Clinton was going to just hand Donald Trump.
The polls are also
head.
showing that Americans are more worried about their financial situation than they are about the disease. So what it seems to be saying is Americans want everybody that they think is weird and crazy to stay home, but they don't want themselves to have to.
But the weird and crazy ones aren't staying home anyway.
Well, it never is that way. This is the problem with statism. Is this fundamentally flawed belief that gets shown over and over again to be messed up. Well, let's just keep trying this, and maybe we'll have a different result.
Yeah.
I mean, this was, for me, the final sort of leg in the belief of statism. I said multiple times here on Free Talk Live over the years, if you're going to have a government, then that government's one final job is basically to protect against a pandemic. Because, what other organization can shut down air flights and keep people home? However,
any airline company, I guess keeping people home would be trickier.
Yeah, but an airline company is not going to do that. They're not going to stop
people
flights.
should do whatever's in their best interest.
Right. So, I'm not saying that, but what other organization could? And the answer is, none, really. I guess they can't. But the problem is that we've got how many governments around the world, and how many of them did this well? And the answer is not very many.
What would you consider doing it well?
I don't know.
I don't consider any mandating, shutting down anything as doing anything well.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, Ian, I'm not coming from the same point as you.
I think
I'm willing to take a practical solution if a practical solution sounds like a good idea.
By practical, you mean using force against peaceful people?
And I was willing to
the
do
hell
that.
happened to you out in the islands, man?
Just
You've lost it.
listen to me. What I said, what I'm saying is that, yep, well, there it is. The government's tried to force people to stay home, and it still spread and went ballistic, and that's because government is not responsible for its actions. So you can't have an organization that's not responsible act responsible.
So
they
then
just can't do it.
You would not think that they should do anything.
As I said, the final support I had in my mind for statism has been finally kicked out. Like, that's it.
So you're an anarchist
We've
now.
Seen it. What is the stupidest term in the world? Like, it's like saying I like children, so I'm a pedophile.
That's not what I said.
That's what you. Anarchist is a.
Clip that, Twitch.
An anarchist is a person,
809.
usually European, wearing a black face mask, throwing a Molotov cocktail
I'm an
at a
anarchist,
store
Mark.
window. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm just telling you, you're not.
An anarchist is someone who rejects the initiation of force and violence.
No,
Not
that's a
necessarily.
libertarian.
Well, that's an anarchist because
No.
if you use force and violence, then you
It can't
are
be two
a-
things. Can't be the same
An
thing.
anarchist
Then
is
you are
just
a
somebody who's
state.
against having rulers. That doesn't mean they're against
Yes.
force and violence.
Well, rulers have to use force and violence, otherwise they're leaders, not rulers. If you have the choice of whether or not to follow them, they're a leader. If you don't have a choice, they're a ruler. Now, let me explain my reasoning to you. The anarchy villain in the Batman series is called Anarchy, and he purports himself to be an anarchist, one of the anarchists that you're talking about. What does he do in Batman Arkham Origins? He plants bombs.
I don't watch that DC Drek.
No, it's a video game.
Fine.
Anyway, he plants bombs throughout the city and then says, if the people don't do what I want them to do, I'm going to blow them up. That's a state, Mark. He's a totalitarian. I don't care that he calls himself an anarchist or that he's one person. Using those bombs is no different than marching an army through the streets to achieve the same end.
Well, if he called
He's a
himself a
state.
voluntarist, I'd be concerned, but
Right.
I don't use the
That's
term
why I would
anarchist.
use the term
He
voluntarist,
just wants to be
voluntarist.
the ruler. He's essentially trying to rule over the people in this
I
fictional
understand
city.
that. That's why I don't use that term, because it's extraordinarily confusing. Plus, from the
No, it's just been co-opted by people who don't know what
it
an
was
anarchist
never
is.
not co-opted by those people.
I
The
say
people
let him
who-
have it.
Yeah, that's it. Right? Like, stop fighting for the worst word in the world. Go fight the pedophiles for child lover instead. I mean, for God's sake. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, no, because what I'm trying to explain to you is that pedophile is a term that is thoroughly joined with a bad philosophical idea. Anarchist, too, is a term that is thoroughly joined with a bad set of philosophies. In so much as what an anarchist is, historically, if not etymologically, at the very least historically, is a communist who does not believe that you need to travel through socialism to get to communism. That's it. That's what an anarchist is.
Well, see,
I
words
know you heard
evolve.
the term, and there's really cool T-shirts that go with it and stuff, but it's a bad philosophical idea.
Well,
Don't
words
align
evolve,
yourself
Mark.
with it.
Anarcho-communism is what we would call those people now. And you're receptive to this idea of words and meanings changing over
They
time.
are. Yes, they do, but you're not going to get it. You
We're
because
not
all
gonna
you're
get
going to
it.
do is confuse a lot of people on your way to just call yourself a libertarian. I mean, that's what you are.
I'm not calling myself a libertarian under any circumstances as long as people like Gary Johnson and Bill Weld exist and are calling themselves libertarian.
That's a libertarian party, but that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm not affiliated with the
Then
Libertarian
call yourself
Party.
a voluntarist or a consensualist or any variety of terms. You don't need this awful, disgusting term.
Mark, I'm the
anarchist.
anarchist she-male.
Okay.
That's
See?
that's the words I've always
Now I've
used.
got it. You've branded yourself, and you cannot unbrand because
I can.
you like
I just
it.
don't see any reason to.
It's just not voluntarist. Just isn't hard enough for you. That's all.
Voluntarist she-male? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's your problem. It's just like
It's
it's
not a
edgy.
problem.
I need edgy.
I don't think it's a problem at all.
It's all right.
So anyway, what has Governor Sununu, His Excellency, decided about the state of New Hampshire?
Well, I would say the decision hasn't quite been made yet, but he's been blabbering all over the media about what it will likely entail. Of course, I'm sure they've spent a lot of time. They've got a task force where they've, put people like the head of the New Hampshire Retail Association or whatever. I think we talked about that the other night here and some of the, nonsense that they want to see happen. And there's a report here from WMUR, which is sort of like the main TV station here in New Hampshire, ABC affiliate. Chris Sununu won't make an announcement on an extension of New Hampshire's stay-at-home order until the end of the week. The order expires on May 4th, so that will be, I believe, Monday or Tuesday? That's Monday. And there are expectations that it will continue in a modified form with some careful steps taken to slowly reactivate some business sectors. So, not freedom. Sununu said his office is working on a flex order that will likely continue aspects of the stay-at-home order while allowing hospitals to resume elective procedures and potentially loosening restrictions on other sectors as well. He says, quote, by Friday, I think we'll be able to have an announcement that identifies some of those areas, the new guidance document that goes with that, and maybe even some flexibility with our stay-at-home order, and that we'd roll that out over a couple of weeks. It doesn't mean that it would go into effect the next day, but over a couple of weeks, he said. The governor said that
we're looking at mid-June before they release this nonsense.
Well, this is so first off, politicians are born followers. They find a parade, they jump in front of it every time. Americans just have to more and more continue to act as they are, so many of them are, like they're free, and then the politicians will be like, yeah, that's right, we intend to do that. None of them are ever going to stand up there and say, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to apologize. I don't know what I was thinking. I was scared and I was trying to help, so I locked the state down. But I've looked at philosophical documents and foundational documents having to do with our state, and the best I can tell is I never had the right to do this to you in the first place. And I'm sorry. You're free to do what you want. Now,
but if they were
my recommendation
to
to you, ladies and gentlemen, is to stay at home and not go out and get sick. But if you want to go out, try to take care of your friends and neighbors who are at risk. Adopt one, leave food at their door, whatever it is you got to do. But, you've got freedom, and good luck.
Circling back to something you said earlier, if these lockdown orders were effective, would that give Sununu and the government in general the right to implement them in order to stop the pandemic, which, as you assert, should be the only role of government if government is to have a role?
It's past tense. I've made it very clear.
He said he changed his mind about that, I think.
Like multiple times I've said that this evening.
Okay, fair. 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom.
I've had blue-fern Amazon parrots and cockatiels and finches and cats and a little Lhasa Apso, a Maltese, she's like 22, a yellow lab Floyd, a black lab Murphy. Murphy's coat, it's very, very shiny, like it sparkles in the sun. And I'm also a part-time dog trainer, so I will always endorse Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
Why wait until your dog is shedding like a monster? Save your dog from the agony, the misery of being stinky and having hot spots and shedding, and making sure that they have the proper nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Get them started early. I mean, your dogs will love you for it. My dogs do puppy zoomies around the house.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite at DINOVITE.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And the Next Generation Wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. But there's no need to wait. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allow anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's DIVIproject.org. Now, we're looking at a light at the end of the tunnel here in regards to the lockdown, hopefully. It's way more distant than I would like for it to be. As based on what Sununu just said, I don't expect this to end before mid-June at the earliest. However, other people are upset because reopening the world gives people too many choices.
Yeah, there are those people, and we can get into that, but there's just a couple more things that I think might be worth sharing here from what the New Hampshire, His Excellency, Chris Sununu, he's being referred to that as His Excellency in every order that he has written so far.
That's his title, you know? I mean,
I thought his title was governor.
Right.
So not every other governor has His Excellency.
Governor is his position. His Excellency is his title in that position. And it's because
I'm not calling him either.
You don't have to. I'm not claiming that you do.
Don't.
It's just that that position of governor has been around longer than America has, and it tends to carry with it some old colonial-sounding baggage.
Yeah.
Well, he's embraced that baggage, while many governors have not.
Okay.
Going on here, so this is a brief piece from WMUR where he's talking about a gradual approach that would allow public health officials to more closely track the effect of easing restrictions on the spread of COVID-19. He says, quote, if we start seeing a trend in a negative direction, something that is clearly the result of us flexing out too fast or a business not adhering to certain guidelines, we'll be able to move in the opposite direction very, very quickly.
Now, one of the difficulties, a politician who has made a move on this, right? Like, this is the trolley problem. Every governor in America, almost, every governor in America, grabbed the little arm and the trolley thing, right? So the trolley problem is that you got a train coming, or a trolley, and there's 5 people laying on the train tracks, and if you pull the handle, the trolley goes on to another track. The problem is there's one person on that track. So do you let 5 people die for which you actually have no responsibility because you aren't a train track operator, but if you do make the decision and save what is basically 4 people, you have actually committed murder against one, or at the very least manslaughter.
See, the false equivalency here, and the reason the trolley problem doesn't work is because we're not dealing with one trolley and 2 potential outcomes. There are millions, infinite numbers of trolleys rampaging toward us, infinite number of rails, and infinite number of possibilities. And they boiled it down to 2. Lock down the economy or everyone dies.
That's what they made it sound like, yeah.
So
However, what my argument would be is that the government claims to be leaders, right? Leaders would make statements. They'd say, "I'm wearing a mask and I'm staying home and I'm doing that to save my family, and I think you should do the same."
Yes.
Now, what a tyrant does is, you're going to keep your business closed, and if not, we're going to send people out who could spread the virus, potentially, but there are trained people, and they're going to lock you down and use violence and force. And that's just, it was a mistake. And I think we all just kind of need to look back and say, hey, scared people make mistakes sometimes. We're scared. We were scared, and that's it.
I noticed tonight you do not have your hand sanitizer with you.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, well, you haven't been making it as obvious.
Thank you for the reminder.
Does this mean, however, that you're one of those people who are saying, you know what, I may have been a bit more fearful about this than I should have been?
I've never supported a lockdown. I never had to take that.
I didn't mean to suggest that you had, but some of these social distancing measures you seem to have been on board with.
I've been social distancing for a decade, Aria. All you dirty people and all your dirty habits are disgusting to me.
Okay, I say I'm not going to get a straight answer out of you.
No, I am not. There's a straight answer for no.
Are you less fearful of COVID-19 today than you were 2 weeks ago?
I was never fearful of COVID-19 because
that's not a straight answer.
Less fearful. Is that for myself?
Or maybe concerned? Less.
Concerned for myself or concerned for society as a whole?
Whichever motivates you emotionally.
I would say that my answer is that I would have liked to have seen some kind of social distancing implemented so that the fears that we wouldn't have enough ventilators in hospitals would not be realized. At this point, there are plenty of ventilators and plenty of hospital beds, and I don't think this is going to get out of control. Are some people going to die of COVID-19? Well, yeah. I mean, some people have died of it already. Now, I don't know these numbers, and I don't think we're going to have good numbers from COVID-19 for at least a year, if not ever. I think that there's been too many lies told. I'm concerned that hospitals are getting more money for people who die or are sick with COVID-19 than they do for other things. And if that's the case, then they're incentivized financially, these institutions and organizations that are currently – they don't have enough customers because everybody's scared and staying indoors, are incentivized to cash in on the government money. If this is true, and it sounds true, and people are saying
it, but I can't. It is true. I think even USA Today has done a report about it.
Right.
What's true?
That hospitals are getting more money for COVID-19 patients than they are for other sorts of patients. If that's the case.
And even more for ventilator use, from what I understand.
And then it's obvious that the numbers are inflated. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, you got these governors, in this case, New Hampshire's Chris Sununu. He's trying to play both sides as well as he can, right? Because like the Georgia governor is getting a lot of crap for he's going too far, too fast, it's dangerous. So Sununu's seeing that happen, and he's got on one hand he's got businesses who are like, we want to reopen, let us reopen, and then on the other hand, these people that are super cautious and super scared, they're saying no, don't do it. So he's trying to play this sort of middle road of like, we're going to be reopening. But we're going to take it slow. We're going to be really cautious. If things start to go in the other direction with more people dying, we're going to reverse course right away. And so
that's what he has to do, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because he pulled the handle on the trolley. He has to. He's taken responsibility. This disaster is now his disaster. If he would have simply stood up there and said,
politicians won't take responsibility for things. He's just trying to play it to where he.
That's the way you get elected, though.
Well,
right?
That's the thing. He wants to get reelected.
Well,
that's what's going on here. And
if he would have stood up there and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, as the governor, it is my job to defend your liberty. And in defending your liberty, I refuse to tell people to lock down. I can suggest it, and I do strongly suggest it, but I will send no one to these cesspools of disease called jails over this."
That's what has happened here in New Hampshire. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And for years, libertarians of all stripes have wanted a directory of liberty-minded businesses, and we're helping to build one, Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu is a tool for our community. At its core is a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social network so you can connect and share with others. However, use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. So put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL to get a special badge. Again, that's Liberty.menu. Now, we were saying before the break, I wanted to finish my point because I wasn't very clear. His Excellency King Sununu's order about...
Kings are referred to as His Majesty.
Oh.
What?
Well, I'm still
Really?
going to say His Excellency because it's funnier.
Sounds like something you would say to a king.
His Excellency King Sununu.
Well, that's because you don't know how to address a king.
And nor would I ever.
His order...
I suspect that's true.
was very...
You address me all the time. I have declared myself Intergalactic Space King.
You have, and I've never called you that.
Well... I did try to get you to sign a contract that included that as a provision.
It didn't work, did it?
No, you did not sign it.
Okay.
Every time I have a contract at this point, I just write a provision in where the person has to refer to me as His Majesty Intergalactic Space King.
You know, every thought just went right out of my head. So, thanks.
Excellency is an honorific style given to certain high-level officers of a sovereign state, officials of an international organization, or members of an aristocracy. Once entitled to the title Excellency, the holder usually retains the right to that courtesy throughout their lifetime, although in some cases the title is attached to a particular office and held only for the duration of that office. People addressed as Excellency are heads of state, heads of government, governors, ambassadors, royalty, Roman Catholic bishops, and high-ranking ecclesiates and others holding the equivalent rank. So, yep, you're right, Mark. No kings.
Okay.
Although heads of government could be considered king.
Your Majesty is king. Your Highness is Prince.
His Excellency King Sununu's order about New Hampshire was significantly less restrictive than we've seen in just about any other state. It included if you read it carefully, it was more of a suggestion.
Dodgy suggestion.
He
yes.
didn't the only thing he actually
there
ordered...
was a loophole in the stay-at-home order.
Yes, but prior to that, the only actual order was for the bars and restaurants to stop.
Right, but that's the big
in.
order here. That's the big thing is that
But
hey,
the
ladies and gentlemen,
order...
you can roam the streets if you want to roam the streets, but there's no particular reason to roam the streets because we've told everybody that owns a bar, a restaurant, a bowling alley, a movie theater, or whatever that we'll throw their butts in jail if they open.
Yeah. So his order was directed at them, but the stay-at-home, quote, order, as they're calling it, was a suggestion because it included this little provision where whatever an individual says is essential for their life is essential. And that's in the actual governor's, quote,
It's
order.
a paraphrase of it, but it's close, I think, to what the original wording was. So, yeah, you would have had to have actually read that to know that. And, of course, most people aren't going to read it. It's going to be taken and reported by news media as governors have ordered that everyone stay inside.
Right,
and
it's the stay-at-home order, so, of course, that orders you to stay at home.
That's what people think about
Unless
it.
you say it's essential that I not stay at home.
Right, that's the truth. The thing I like best about it is that now the statists can never say, well, public property belongs to all of us because public property is government property and the government shut down those parks. We didn't decide to shut those parks down. The governor did. Okay.
Well, the statists would say that you voted for them and they made those decisions.
What if I didn't vote for them?
Oh, they don't care.
Right, that's the thing. Right?
You had the chance to vote, and
that makes it justified?
That's what they believe.
Well, All they need to do is have a couple of questions asked, and then suddenly that all falls apart. Ladies and gentlemen, public property is government property. Stop being fooled.
I don't think this is a battle we're going to win. I fought it with people before. They just don't see it.
At this point, it's been made clear.
But it's so wrapped up in their heads that we are the government, that anything the government does...
That was a lie they told you at school.
I know that.
I know. Well, that's all you have to say.
How can you break through that lie, though?
It was a lie that was told to you at school. Like, of course, you went to school. You went to government school, and the government lied to you because that's what government does at government school. And they've tricked a lot of people because they've had a long time to do it.
Okay,
their
Mark,
founding document says, "We the people." And that was a lie. Because if it was we the people, they wouldn't have needed to blockade Rhode Island to get the document through.
Mark.
It was a lie. It was a violent lie to start with.
It doesn't matter.
I
get it. It's a lie. Go to Mississippi, enter a Southern Baptist church and saying, hey, this whole religion that you're doing, it's a lie.
There's no point in that.
Well, that changes everything.
There's no point in that,
Why didn't someone come along and just tell us that we were being lied to?
Right. I mean, it's the same difference telling a statist that because they are essentially a religious belief. The belief in the state is one that is a religious belief.
And it's core to all of their other beliefs.
In the United States, we foundationally do question the government. In Christianity, you do not foundationally question Christianity.
Wait a minute. You say we foundationally question the government? Well, maybe we on this show do, but the average American does not seem to be questioning what's going on around them. They seem to be embracing
cynical about governments and their ability to succeed.
Not right now. I mean, you look at the approval ratings for Sununu, for instance, and it's 9 out of 10.
Sununu's going to be popular because he's a centrist politician.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think the Democrats would be behind him 87 points out of 100, but that's what's apparently happened according to one survey.
Those are surprisingly high numbers, but I would expect Sununu to continue to win for some time.
See, it's not even about the figurehead. Like the Democrats out there, they hate Donald Trump, but they still love the government and the mythical idea that government represents.
That's why you have to continue to tell Democrats, and I know this is hard, right? Like you just have to continually tell them, hey, look, this is the probable, almost certain future of voting for politicians, is that ping pong, we keep on going back and forth between the two parties, and you're going to have every 8 years, a politician that you dislike. Can you please stop doing this to us? Like, you got to stop.
I'm with you, but
there may be, you brought up this loophole, Aria, as far as that was in the stay-at-home order, and so there may be reason to have a little bit of optimism for whatever it is that's coming next as far as the orders coming out of the governor's office in New Hampshire and how they're going to handle this. Vincent, who's one of our regular co-hosts here, he was not well today, so I'm sitting in for him. He found a document online. I know his neck was hurting after he woke up, but
that's one of the symptoms.
He found a document, a draft version of the guidelines for all New Hampshire employers and employees. And the wording here is interesting because there's a lot of shoulds in this document. So
not musts.
Correct. No musts, bunch of shoulds. So all employees and employers
Did you search for a must?
Should take steps to reopen safely. Businesses and their employees should follow guidance issued by the CDC. Each business should refer and follow their industry-specific guidelines and so on and so forth. So this isn't the final, this is a draft. It probably is going to be done on Friday, but it's also going to be in tandem with whatever the order comes out from the governor. So it could be that the governor's order says you must follow the guidelines, in which case I don't know what that'll mean because the governor would be saying you must follow the guidelines, but the guidelines themselves say should. So I think you're going to have some possible wiggle room here as well, if a business owner wants to try to go that route. And that's ultimately the other problem that we're going to be encountering. Even if Sununu does this sort of halvesies thing that he seems to be trying to do, where he's trying to appease all the people that want the lockdown to continue, but also sort of allow businesses to do their business, he's going to come up against what they're coming up in Georgia, which is where there's actually pushback from people against businesses who decide to open.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
And that is the marketplace working. That's what people should have the right to do.
Bunch of people using their market forces. Yeah, and it's sad.
That's what they should be able to do.
855.
That doesn't mean I support it.
Agreed. Don't drink bleach, people.
855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
This is a pandemic survival alert and the most time-sensitive messages you will hear this year. You still have time to plant a 1-acre crisis garden and secure a supply of your own nutrient-dense food. But time is running out, and it's one deadline you don't want to miss. Who should plant a crisis garden? Individuals, families, churches, communities, anyone or any group that sees hard times ahead. Let's face it, even the mainline media is talking about food supply disruptions and the growing number of grocery store workers who are becoming sick. But there's more. Meat packing plants are closing, mile-long lines at food pantries, and more farmers now in financial trouble. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables this summer may be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand what we're really up against. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Don't wait, every minute counts. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Oh, so you're wearing a mask every day now? Where are you getting them?
The same website where I get my neck and body wraps, sunnybay.com. And they're handmade.
Really?
Just like their wraps in the USA.
Oh, and good quality?
Oh, very good. These are disposable face masks.
And good price?
That's the best part. I get a 10-pack for only $6.
Wow.
Yes, as a public service, we're now sourcing disposable face masks with level 1 protection at sunnybay.com. Get a 10-pack of high-quality, more breathable face masks, only $6. Our face masks are hypoallergenic, latex-free, and made for stress-free all-day wearing. Or choose our N95 respirator masks 2-pack for only $6. Supplies are limited, so place your order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company right here in the USA. Go to sunny-bay.com and purchase your disposable face masks online. 10 masks for only $6. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
And we're hoping that at some point in the very near future, I would like to see the lockdowns just completely end. Well, immediately. But May the 4th, I was really holding out the hope that there would be no extension whatsoever. But it sounds like that's delusional.
Oh, yeah.
Hope generally is. And come May the 4th, we're going to see an extension, Sununu style, that basically comes off as a suggestion filled with lots of shoulds.
Is it Star Wars Day?
Why?
May the 4th? May the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
No, it is.
It is Star Wars Day. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the phones. We've got Dan calling from Nebraska, listening at LRN.FM. Dan, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thanks, Ari. I guess I kind of had a couple of things to respond to because I heard Ian in the show say earlier that he thinks believing in the government is like believing in religion. I think that's kind of asinine, to be honest. They have literally nothing in common.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, well, for one, believing in a religion is something that is entirely superstitious. Believing in a government is a thing that that is tangible. You can live in it, work in it. You can
I don't
be
think I've
provided
ever
for
touched
by
a
it,
government
you pay
before
to
in
it.
my life.
Yeah, I mean, how do I call the government up on the stand in a trial? I'd love to do that sometime.
I just want to put my finger on it. Where is this government at that is tangible, that can be touched?
Well, insofar, like I guess, as the government itself is an abstraction, it can be manifested in buildings like courthases.
Oh, like churches, like priests and churches,
Oh, like
right?
churches and priests.
But that's not like a church. That's not like a church because
It's exactly like it
because
is.
because government business is actually happening there. There is no God to speak of at any church.
Government business happens church business happens at churches. They pass a plate around and money gets put into it.
And government itself is the God.
You've
at these
just
institutions.
said government is abstract in so much as meaning it is non-corporeal. And then you're saying God is non-corporeal. I don't understand what your confusion is.
Look, there's plenty of reasons to not believe in a religion, but the thing is that I don't understand how you could reject the idea that a government is a real thing or equate
it's clearly not a real thing.
Because it's not
if
a
it was a real
superstition.
thing, I
It's
would
not
be
a
able to.
superstition.
But it clearly is. These people who are staying at
This
home
is
because
just the crap that atheists say, okay? They're like, I don't believe in these religions, but I believe in that one, right? Like I've had this conversation for 20 years now on this show, and it just shows how inconsequentially pointless the atheism is. And it's like, I got to argue over this one point. No, look, man, these are all just ideas. The government is an idea that people use to force other people to do what they want. Religion is an idea.
Right.
And in my opinion, there is a God, but nonetheless, religion is largely a series of ideas that people use to force people or to get people to do what they want.
Well, further, it also uses the idea of something that is greater than the whole or greater than the group, right? So like the idea behind God is that it is a greater supreme being, something that is, in the case of certain religions, disconnected. In my beliefs, God is constantly connected. We are parts of it and all that. But in the belief of government and the belief in the state, it's also a belief in this something that is greater, something that is more than just people. It's this thing. So when you look at like court trials, for instance, you'll see a lot of the trappings of religion. For instance, the man in the robe at the front of the room, he's not Edward Burke. He's the court. People will he will speak of himself as though he is speaking in the third person.
I'd like to hear from the state, please.
Right, and the prosecutor is the state.
Right, his name isn't Jim Johnson.
Right, exactly. And so when the charges are brought against you, when you look at the charging document, it says the state versus your name. Well, how do I get the state? Is the state the one who's going to testify against me? No, there's no state to call to the stand. There are men and women who believe that they are part of this thing that is greater than themselves.
Right. So, I mean, in the case of a bishop, you have somebody dressed up like a wizard. In the case of the court, you have somebody dressed up like a wizard.
And they literally have pews in the courtroom. I mean, it couldn't get any more.
They've got a bench.
Right. It couldn't get any more religious.
They've even got their own hymns.
They
their
do.
own little prayers.
Chants.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well,
and if you don't properly pledge to that flag,
they got Sunday school too, right? Like, except it's Monday through Friday school.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay. Well, here's what I would tell you is that what government is its business. When people are governing, that is government. You are being governed what governing is the business itself. Churches have church business, sure, but that's their church business is more like what governing is.
I find it insulting to call government business, sir. I find it to be an insult when a court says, we're just doing business. It's business, we're open for business or whatever. It's not business in the way that business is typically considered, right? Like business is normally a voluntary action, meaning I offer a product or service and you might want to or not be my customer. With the government, their business is to use violence and the threat of violence against you. And to me, that is not what businessmen do.
Right. The church has never drug you in and made you go. The government will darn sure do some things to you if you don't participate.
Which is why they're the most dangerous of cults, the most dangerous of religions, because
people like Dan will call in and say, no, this is not a series of ridiculous beliefs. We haven't continued to turn over problem after problem after problem to these people, and they've failed to turn out results. And every time they do, we give them more money. Like that's what government is. It's the worst religion.
Let me interject here that, you say governments aren't dragging people out and forcing them to go to church. Not in modern United States, no, but we have to understand how the government is the new religion to people. We have to understand how religion lost that and the state gained it. Because the states, the religions in the past, they did do that. They did burn people at the stake.
Yeah.
They did drag people out of their homes and force them to go to church. They did torture and kill people just like the state today. The church no longer does that. The state has the exclusive authority to.
Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, my point here, you guys, is that a government is not something that I think is believed in the same way. That I think that there's two different ways that belief is. You have something that you could believe in like superstitiously, but then you have something that's more just a matter of practice. People who quote unquote believe in government believe is that they're acting out this sort of system that manifests. There's underlying sort of things to believe in. We believe that what government is like all the activities it does. It's like there's no abstraction further of some type of like, beautiful, greater good or thing that works in mysterious ways.
Well, yes, there is. People hold on. That's really important.
The actions we do, and we do the actions.
People who believe in the government believe that it's good. People who believe in the government believe that it's good and that it works in the face of obvious evidence over and over again. Like the government fails.
Well, they believe the same about prayer.
What's that? No, in prayer, I was told in Christian school, prayer is either the answer is yes and you won't hear it, no and you won't hear it, or later. And so they've covered everything by saying that God has just given you an answer, and that answer is yes, no, or later.
Yeah, so what was the point of praying at all?
I don't care about Christianity.
I'm just saying that people believe in prayer in exactly the same ways that people believe in government. That was what I was alluding to.
No.
I was backing up your point, and then you challenged me on your point.
I'd like to go back to what Dan was saying, and that is his claiming that, government is just the things that these people do. It's just the parks that get built. It's the parking enforcers that are walking downtown, or these things, right? The road gets built. This is government, is what essentially he was saying, I believe. And the difference is that there is still a religious belief on top of it. The idea that we are the government, that it's this thing, this entity that is beyond just a road getting built. Because if it were just a road getting built, then you would have to call it government when Disney World builds a road, or when, or if it was just somebody clearing off some salt, or putting some salt on a driveway, then it would be government when I do that at my house, or something like that. And it's not. Government is the idea of using force to achieve your viewpoint, to force it on other people, whether they like it or not. And it sounds like you're trying to get around that point.
And Ian, I actually I think that I could meet you somewhere, because one of the reasons that I support having a government over the idea of anarcho-capitalism, or
when you say you support having a government, you mean having to use violence and the threat of violence against peaceful people to achieve some sort of goal? I'd like to hear what he's going to say about that. Why, in a moment, we if you don't mind, bringing him back.
All right, Dan, sit tight. We're going to be back in just a moment. I'd like the answer to that as well, because it seems hard to justify the existence of a government from a moral standpoint.
They certainly exist, though.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,712, silver at $15.11, and Bitcoin is trading around $7,749. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, 5 weeks after launching an aggressive nationwide lockdown to combat the coronavirus pandemic, coupled with one of the most robust economic relief packages of any country, New Zealand's government on Monday announced that the new coronavirus is currently eliminated in the nation. The country's Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, said Monday that while cases are not at zero, new cases have been in the single digits for the past several days. The Mind Unleashed reports that 1 new case was reported Monday, as well as 4 probable cases and 1 new death. As the country reduces restrictions to level 3, businesses that reopen will be required to maintain physical distancing rules. Schools will reopen with limited capacity, and workers will still be encouraged to work from home if they are able to. Events, such as weddings and funerals, will only be able to take place with up to 10 people in attendance, and public buildings, such as museums, libraries, and gyms, will remain shuttered for the time being. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. FBI agents in hazmat suits, equipped with respirators, raided a medical clinic last week after a doctor reportedly gave high-dose vitamin C to essential workers who may be exposed to COVID-19. The Free Thought Project reports that on Thursday, the FBI, along with the Department of Health and Human Services, raided Allure Medical Spa on 26 Mile Road in Van Dyke in Shelby Township in Michigan, just before 8 a.m., according to a report from Fox 2. Though no arrests were made, the FBI said they are looking at evidence to find out more information about the vitamin C treatments. To be clear, Dr. Mock, who was accused of giving the treatments, was not trying to hide the services. He was openly advocating for them on local media, noted that they were accepting insurance for them, and even offered them for free to essential workers. As the United States faces unprecedented meat shortages due to processing plants going offline in response to the coronavirus, a long-standing globalist agenda to halt meat consumption is being fulfilled. Activist Post reports that Tyson Foods recently warned that the food supply chain is breaking. Lockdowns have created a situation in which farmers have nowhere to send their product, and in turn, millions of animals are being slaughtered. Additionally, vegetables that would normally end up on store shelves are rotting in the field. Despite the reality, Twitter has announced that talk of food shortages will be censored. Lab-grown meat producers are hoping that the COVID-19 outbreak could boost public acceptance. As Bill Gates was working to establish a worldwide digital ID system prior to the pandemic, he was also working to end meat production and funding lab-grown meat. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Zoo visitors watch the mating rituals of the ice cream shop staff, and a serious coworker puts on headphones to focus on his sandwich. Happiness is perpetually fleeting, so try to savor the next few minutes before it disappears once again. This is The Onion Week in Review. FBI officials announced they just can't bring themselves to bust a man who recently downloaded every season of the 1990s television show Picket Fences from a BitTorrent website. While stressing that pirating copyrighted material is strictly illegal, federal authorities expressed their sympathy for the man and claimed that perhaps the story of Sheriff Jimmy Brock and the strange events in a small Wisconsin town is all he has left to cling to.
We have more than enough evidence to bust him for piracy, but if the poor guy really wants to watch all 4 seasons of a 20-year-old CBS drama that nobody remembers, then he's clearly going through a pretty big rough patch right now. And frankly, we don't need to make it any worse.
For statistical purposes, we have seized all private data from your personal computer, and we are disgusted with your recent internet search history. You sick f***. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, government that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever.
Government that you control?
Is that what I said? Well, we've been
did.
talking about government. I was just reading about government. And
Yeah. That's what the problem with being in the first seat, man. You're just thinking ahead.
Anyway,
By
we're
man, I mean Aria.
talk radio that you control, not government. 855-450-3733. See? You got me so frazzled now. Because I never thought anything about it before, but now I'm like, no, I'm actually thinking about the next thing I'm going to say as I say the thing I'm currently saying, and it hurt my brain for a moment. So thanks for that, Mark.
That's what makes you a good talk show host.
Okay, well,
because you can
thanks.
think in one place and say another thing.
Until you stop to think about the fact that you're thinking ahead.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
that'll
when it gets
screw you up.
difficult.
Yeah. So we're talking about COVID-19. Unlike government, you actually can control Free Talk Live by talking about whatever you want. Government, it seems, doesn't work that way, although it's wrapped itself in this religious garb that allows people to convince themselves.
Well, religion is
that
not
it
a religion.
Does work that way,
right? I mean, it's like
What?
it's religious, but nobody will say it.
You
And
say religion is not a religion.
no, a religion that's not a religion.
Government is a religion. That's not a...
It's a faith-based belief system, I think, is probably the most accurate way to describe it. And I would, if you're going to bring Dan back on, I'd like to hear what he thinks about it.
It's not exactly a religion. You're right, Mark. It's not exactly a religion because it doesn't speak to the nature of the universe, right? And that generally is something that religions...
But it kind of does. It's just implied. The nature of the universe is that...
Is chaos, and
chaos.
order cannot be brought to it without the state.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to compromise with Dan and say a faith-based belief system, if Dan is willing to compromise to that point. And maybe he is, maybe he's not.
Wasn't he about to tell us something before we went?
Yeah, you had asked him about
why
an
the state must
acceptable
exist.
government.
Ian, okay, actually, can I tell you what I was about to say?
Yes,
yeah, do whatever you want, man.
Okay, so what Ian said is that, is it government every time somebody like puts down a driveway? Is it government every time somebody does something that the government would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. I think that in a way it is, but I would call it almost like small g governing, because one of the reasons that I believe in having a government like ours and not like anarcho-capitalism is because I believe that when private business people use what power they have, which is, even though when it's property ownership that's political in nature, what they are doing to people is effectively governing. When you have a private tyrant using his power, which is political because it's proprietarian, that is small g governing.
So
we're
what are we
being
talking
governed
about here?
either way.
But who
We're
is
being
this?
governed either way?
Who is okay?
Now,
I agree with you. Governance will exist in lots of forms, and the state is the term I use for hierarchical, top-down, involuntary government.
I would agree, because IEEE is essentially a government of the tech industry. They're the ones who proposed the 802.11g standards.
I know nothing of what you're speaking.
Okay, well, they're the ones who allow your phone to connect to any Wi-Fi network and use the
they've
internet
laid down rules
anywhere
of
in the
governance.
world.
It's an industry
And
standards.
it's 100% voluntary.
So what are you talking about when you say that this business owner is a government? What's the bad scenario here? Because all I can see is that the bad scenarios have to do with businesses and corporations and stuff using the power of the state, not when they use their own sort of proprietarian power.
And honestly, I believe that I have to get going soon, so I can only really get one thing out real quick. But I guess that I don't think that there's a good historical precedent for people who govern privately to be held accountable. And that I believe that when we're talking, I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
if I don't like the way Walmart has new rules, like let's say, what is it, Costco, just put rules into place
That's
saying
a drop in the bucket. What the problems they create are structural, and they can't be fixed.
Structural through using the state.
If a business does something I don't agree with, I can choose to not do business with them. So if Costco says you got to wear a mask to come in to Costco, which is in the news now, you got to wear a mask if you're a customer at Costco, I could say, I'm canceling my subscription and never coming back. And I can let them know that. And they will not send men with guns to my door and put a gun to my face saying, oh, you're coming back, buddy, and you are going to continue your subscription or we're going to kill you and rape your wife. That's not going to happen.
What they still do is they still get to, the grocery store still gets to practice, governing and managing what's in its control, whether a couple people, fail to subscribe or not.
Yeah, you're not really making an argument here, dude. You're saying they can govern the things that are in their control? Yes, so can I. I can govern the things that are within my control, too. I can open and close my laptop. I can do whatever it is I want to do with my
What it sounds like,
things.
Dan, is that not enough of people agree with you on the things that upset you about a particular business, and that upsets you. Well, I can tell you that's true with government, too, is that government, as it exists in the United States, rarely does what people want it to do, and usually does what wealthy corporations want it to do. And I can assure you that no one would have put it together like this, but that's the way it goes. So the results are the same.
I would kind of disagree. Look, I believe that the seeds of
Harvard,
the
Princeton study. The Princeton study doesn't disagree.
I think you had somewhere to go, didn't you, Dan?
No, hold on.
Oh,
Dan, thanks
call
for the
another
call.
night.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It did get a bit rambly there for the end.
Well,
but
I mean,
we've got other people waiting too.
Yeah.
Look,
Dan, thank you so much for the call. Good questions.
Right, and I want those kind of questions. But ultimately, I've asked myself these questions over and over and over again. Now, I would say that a better argument for the state is the existence of the state, right? Like if the United States stops being a state tomorrow, which is highly unlikely, then...
Well, that's because people believe in it. If people stopped believing in it, then they would look like a bunch of lunatics wearing costumes.
Agreed. But that's not going to make, say, the state China or the state of Russia go away. And that those organizations are being like, the world's looking a lot better for us right now. I think that's a better argument for the state than sort of...
What do you mean when they say the world's looking a lot better for us?
Well, the Chinese Communist Party is a group of rapacious, evil people.
How would the world look better for them if the territory we're calling the United States now was more prosperous and free because there was no state?
The United States government, Washington, D.C., enacts power around the world, soft and hard power around the world. And that soft and hard power is sort of counteracted by the three other sovereign states, or two other sovereign states, so Beijing and Moscow. And these people are, vying for the power that exists. And I'm not saying there haven't been other powers even in the 20th century. There certainly were. But essentially now England is a puppet state of the United States. And so you just have Washington, D.C., Beijing, and Moscow. And you're on one of these three teams.
I think Beijing would be happy because I think you're right, Aria. They would have more free trade with the United States. People could do business with them without having to pay ridiculous tariffs coming into the U.S., and people would be more prosperous in both countries.
I don't know how it would be for the United States, but I can tell you how it would be for the rest of the world. So,
see, I think if we had one area where if there was actually no state and people were just allowed to be free, its economic productivity would so rapidly dwarf everyone else's that the state would be abolished within 10 years
and
throughout the world.
Like, I am totally working on that, Aria, because I think that's absolutely true. I think it would be fascinating to see.
If the state had to compete with the free market,
if we had a special economic zone set up someplace where we could, not be hampered by the depredations of the state, and we could see what that would do, where people are responsible for their actions, whether those actions are against the environment or their other human beings or whatever the situation is. If we had a place like that, I think that place would be ridiculously prosperous.
However, it would be invaded the very next day.
Not if you...
The American government would not allow that competition. The Chinese government would not allow it.
If
they would all come in and impose a state.
If you were able to convince Washington, D.C. it was in their best interest, then I think they wouldn't.
I don't know. I think it would be very easy to convince them that it was not. I think it would be hard to convince them that it wasn't when the competition there would make themselves look obsolete.
Well, there's plenty of competition around the world that's way more free than North Korea, but they still exist.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and governments don't look at themselves as in competition with free market. They don't. They're like,
just lock down the borders, keep the people in.
855-450-3733.
My dogs do puppy zoomies around the house, so I will always endorse Dinovite. DINOVITE.com. Why wait? Save your dog from being stinky and having hot spots and shedding and making sure that they have the proper nutrition. Get them started early. I mean, your dogs will love you for it.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite at DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
Mark, tell me about Intercoin.
Intercoin's architecture enables programmable coins with a variety of applications. Merchants can add tags like books, food, or clothing to their products, and authorized users can see statistics on how money was spent. Experts can analyze the local economy. Donors and investors can have more confidence. Everyone in the community can have a real-time consumer price index to inform their democratic decision-making and address issues like rising prices, anonymity, and shrinking wages. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and here in the real world. We think that's important here on Free Talk Live, and so important that FTL accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Inc. for advertising. If you think that freedom's important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. Intercoin.org. It's inter with an I, I-N-T-E-R, intercoin.org.
Well, let's keep going with the phones. We got Kirby calling from Indianapolis. Kirby, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, Kirby.
I just wanted to remind everybody that Thomas Paine said that government, like clothes, is a badge of lost innocence.
A badge of what?
Lost
innocence.
Lost innocence.
Okay.
It's in the pamphlet, Common Sense. But we're not going to get away from government ever. And again, I would refer people back to common sense, because Mr. Payne told us that so long, I'm paraphrasing, but so long as we live in smaller societies where we can get together and hash out our differences under a tree or in a park, we won't have these issues.
Yep.
But when we start living like we do now, in where I live, Marion County, 6 million people, too many people. We're too different. We have too many ways of thinking and doing things for us to live together the way we do, especially with something like this COVID going around. You got people like me who are like, I don't care. I'm going to work. You got other people who are willing to stay in the house, do whatever Uncle Sugar tells them. And then you got those in the middle who just don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm rambling, but Mark, you're right. People do take government on a religious level. The American government is God to a lot of people.
They believe it without question. Absolutely.
Yeah, because their priests have told them to.
Well, they question God, they question religion far more than they ever question the state.
That's true.
It's a lot easier to question religion.
Yeah, less costly.
God's not going to show up and tell you no, yes, you're right, you're wrong. But the government,
I wish you would.
The government will show up and tell you, oh, you are wrong. In fact, there's a song you guys ought to listen to by Ice-T. It's called "Shut Up, Be Happy."
I will listen to that.
I love Ice-T.
Yeah, I remember his Cop Killer album.
Kirby, you
that was
said
Body Count, but yes, he was involved in that.
You said that people can't just meet out under the trees to hash out their issues any longer. Why not?
Yeah.
I would love to
too
see
many.
that.
We
find a bigger tree.
6 million people?
6 million people aren't having an issue, right? It's a very select number of people.
Let him answer the question.
But that's just it. If it was this neighborhood or that neighborhood, yes, we could. But when you've got Marion County, 6 million people, there is no way, even if we...
Well, the issues that
what city is in Marion County?
Indianapolis?
The issues that they have to hash out are those created by the state in the first place.
Most of them are. Again, as Thomas Paine said, government does more to create distinctions than it does to unite us.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, and you were right on, Kirby, when you pointed out that the church isn't going to send men with guns to force you to show up for Sunday services. But
anymore,
when the court...
I mean, they would have 300 years
We're talking
ago.
about now, okay? When the court says you got to show up for our service on Monday morning, if you don't show up, it will send men with guns to your house, and they will kill you if you don't do what that man in the robe said.
Yeah, absolutely. So... I mean, if you want to break the state, I can tell you how to do it in 7 days.
Tell me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Everybody stay home from work next week.
Well, that's going to kill a lot of people of starvation.
Well, that hasn't killed the state. I mean, there's a lot of people staying home from work. I mean,
that would kill the state because it would show them, A, we are united. B, that we are willing to fight.
I think you'd be better off first of all, you can't get everyone to do anything, so any plan that requires everyone to participate is dead from the get-go. But if you got a significant portion or even a small portion of people to refuse to pay the state, then I think you would have some serious damage that you would do to them because they just don't have enough prison space for everybody, or they don't have enough prison space for 10% of the population. That's an impossibility. So they would have to drop a bunch of cases and ignore a bunch of stuff and try to pretend like you didn't exist. But if you made a big to-do about it, the fact that you had 10% of the people or even 5% who were going to completely non-cooperate and not pay the state, then you're actually depriving them of revenue. And more importantly, you're depriving them of obedience, which those are the two things that they consider to be very, very important to their legitimacy.
Kirby, thank you so much for the call.
Great thoughts, though. Really enjoyed that.
Let's keep going. We've got Stephen calling from Ohio. Stephen, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I was going to say that I kind of resent the idea of comparing government to religion nowadays. I had made the comparison a couple of years ago, and I thought it was a pro-big brain move, but now I understand that it's really not even comparable, aside from some basic narratives of consent.
So why aren't they comparative?
Help us out.
Well, here's why, right? For example, I'm a Christian. Didn't used to be, am now. Here's the deal. I believe, and many other Christians believe, and Muslims, Jews, whatever. They believe that God is the supreme being. You cannot opt out of that, right? You cannot escape God's will, God's law, God's power, right? Whereas we understand that the only thing holding a government together are human beings. And you do have the ability, in most places around the world, most westernized nations at least, to opt out of the government.
Really?
So
I've been trying for years. What am I missing?
You can go to any consulate and renounce your citizenship today.
Not without getting other citizenship, though.
You can renounce your citizenship and go somewhere else. You can opt out of government.
Well,
you can go find another one.
You can opt out of one specific religion.
You may, as the serf, go to a different kingdom and declare yourself a serf of the new king. That is true, but that's just competition between kingdoms for human livestock.
But again,
right?
if you don't like this government, you can opt out.
But no, you really can't. I mean, have you looked into this before? I mean, Roger Ver, for instance, had to pay, I think, 6 figures or something like that to renounce his citizenship in the United States.
No, that was 6 figures was the bill that he had to pay the accountant.
A lot of that went to the IRS, as I understand.
Stephen, thank you so much for the call. I would also point out that people can opt out of their religious beliefs as well and just join a different religion. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
After this morning's police raid on Cosmopolitan magazine's male pleasure laboratory revealed that test subjects were forced to endure horrific abuses and inhumane living conditions, Onion reporters spoke to 23-year-old Daniel Chertok, one of the numerous men exploited for the monthly magazine's studies on erotic stimulation.
It was awful. They drove us wild for days on end. Once they made me lather myself with gallons of sexy bath oils. and then read thousands of racy text messages until my eyesight began to blur. Then for the next 12 hours, they blasted sultry songs into my ears and made me simulate 50 crazy hot sex moves. They said I couldn't rest until they found the bliss button on my Randy regions.
According to Chair Talk, test subjects were often subjected to hours of grueling experimentation at the hands of female scientists. Chair Talk added that many of his fellow subjects were not lucky enough to survive the excruciating treatment.
This is the Onion News Network.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
It's Ian.
And Mark.
I want to say thank you to Barefoot Anarchist, who is tonight's amplifier. Now, he's a gold level amplifier, which means he contributes $10 per month to the AMP program that you can find at amp.freetalklive.com. Of course, we don't ask that much. All it takes to become a member is $5 per month. And the AMP program is used to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, the best way to help us reach a larger audience is to contribute to the AMP program. So Barefoot Anarchist, thank you so much for your contributions. I hope you enjoy the show and continue amplifying it. Again, that's amp.freetalklive.com. Let's keep going with the phones. We've got Matt calling from Louisiana. Matt, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, gentlemen and Ariane. I heard y'all discussing China, and the thing to remember when discussing China's foreign policy is that they have a map of the world. And guess where y'all are sitting? Guess where I'm sitting?
Future China?
China. That's right. Their map extends to the moon.
So you think China wishes to conquer the globe?
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, aren't they having a tough time with, like, Taiwan or whatever? I mean, they haven't really expanded too far in the last...
When you say a tough time for Taiwan, what do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's disputed territory, right?
As is Hong Kong.
Well,
they seem very reluctant to
during
use
this COVID-19
force
situation, they kidnapped about 24 activists in Taiwan, and it doesn't take too many heads before the snake dies.
But that's very different from sending in a
Taiwan or Hong
military
Kong?
to conquer a territory.
They don't need to.
Was that, Mark, I need to clarify, was that Taiwan or Hong Kong? Because
Hong Kong? Yeah, Hong Kong
Okay,
had the activists disappeared. And the point I'm trying to make is that Ian has probably never watched a war game video surrounding Taiwan. Taiwan is right there, and they don't have the equipment to stop a Chinese invasion.
But they haven't invaded yet, right?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's because the United States has said, we'll defend you.
Have they? Okay.
And the United States...
Japan has said the same thing, too.
Well-
Japan has told Taiwan, yeah, we got your back here. But,
Speaking of vassal states of the United States.
Indeed.
Well, all I'm saying is they haven't really expanded very much in the last however many hundred years, right?
Well, yes, they have.
No, they have, in fact, moved into Italy. They've moved into
The
Pakistan.
Chinese?
Yes.
Militarily? Or by buying things?
They
Do you
bought
mean
things.
by buying things? Because
Describe military, if you would. I mean, for that matter, they even, for that, have a pretty heavy presence in Djibouti.
yeah, there's an interesting story that we didn't talk about
a
a Chinese city that has been built in Africa that is just full of Chinese manufacturers.
Not just Africa, but Djibouti.
What is the issue with selling land to someone and then bringing in their friends and families to conduct business on that land?
Well, it is a state-run. These are state-run corporations in many cases.
Ariane, have you
That's
ever
certainly
watched
an issue.
any of the YouTube channel China Uncensored?
I tend to not get my information from YouTube channels. That's
well,
correct.
One of the things about podcasts
so
and
you
YouTube.
trust the authorized journalists. Okay.
No, but But I don't trust the person who can go home tonight, throw up a webcam, and spend 40 minutes rambling into a microphone.
Look, well, does that mean you don't trust yourself to be able to figure out what BS is versus not BS? Because that's what
I do, and the bulk of what is on YouTube is BS. I
Fine.
see no reason to
This is
dig through
you understand
100
that's an
pounds
ad
of-
hom attack, right? Like
Okay,
somebody put
so
out a
I
YouTube
will-
channel, so I'm not going to listen because it's a YouTube channel. That's a pointless
If they
statement.
wanted to be taken seriously, they wouldn't just be a YouTube channel.
What
They'd
would
be
they?
like, oh,
What
but
would they
we're
be?
on
A
this other thing.
podcast
If they wanted,
with their own
sure.
website? Come on.
Sure. Mark, it's not crap. Have you watched the crap on YouTube?
I've watched plenty of it.
There
I'm
is
just
a
saying
lot
that's
of
a
crap,
specious
and there's
argument.
a lot of good
It
stuff.
isn't. The
Go
platform
watch
is bad. That's like
China
saying that just
Uncensored
because. Hold
for
on.
You guys are talking at the
You
same
gotta
time.
mute him
and
if you.
make up your-
Well, I didn't expect the caller to just keep going on and on. And
Sorry,
not let
that's how
me
this
address your
radio
point.
thing works.
Yeah, but see, and now I can't think.
All right. All I'm saying is that there's good and bad on YouTube, and claiming, oh, it's a YouTube, so you shouldn't believe it, is a specious argument.
Okay, I'm not saying everything on YouTube is bad. I'm saying, but if you want to come at me and have me trust your judgment on something, I'll go, well, I'm sourcing this YouTube video. That's like, oh, well, I'm sourcing Alex Jones.
Okay.
You know, InfoWars is not the place I go for reliable information.
He said China Uncensored. He gave a specific channel. Now, I don't
Yes,
know that
and
I have.
explained why I have not watched that channel.
And I don't know that I've. Look, if you're not interested in China taking over the world, then don't watch it. But.
Well, they got a long way to go.
Well, they might be a little farther than you think.
Okay.
And if China was trying. Did you get this information from.
I don't know
YouTube?
that I've watched. I don't know the name of the channels that I've watched, but I do keep a little closer eye on China than most of y'all do because y'all aren't concerned with the other
No, I'm
state.
way
You're
more
not-
concerned with the one that's going to try to put me
I
in
know you
prison, and my friends in prison, and other peaceful people in prison who have not harmed another human being. And China is not threatening to do that.
Not
They just
you.
want to sell a bunch of crap
Oh no! China puts lots of people in prison.
in their own country.
Indeed,
Yeah.
right. If I had to pick between Washington D.C., Beijing, and Moscow as to which one I wanted to rule the world, I would pick Washington D.C. All right.
I would reject the premise because I don't have to pick.
I understand. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's fine. All I'm doing is realizing that some of these things stand as bulwarks to other things. That politics is a real problem in the world, and it really exists. And if libertarians wish really hard, it still doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
Then
Because
why-
we've been wishing for 20 years on Free Talk Live. And
Then why carry on, Mark?
Why carry on what?
The
Life
ideas
is great.
of liberty.
Well, the ideas of liberty, because somebody needs to stand for them. But you're not gonna wish Washington D.C. away.
I don't think she said you were.
I'm just making it clear what's going on here. Beijing, Moscow, and Washington D.C. exist.
I heard you essentially saying that the fight for liberty is futile.
You will
that may
never.
not have been what you attempted.
It will not
to
be
convey.
achieved. Not without not without real better plans. All right, going to Concord and saying we don't like what you've said isn't going to achieve anything. And I've watched it happen over and over again. I mean, good luck to you. Thanks for defending my liberties and all that good stuff.
So I guess that means you're not coming out on Saturday?
Probably not.
Well, you're going to be in Florida anyway.
But I mean, start a special economic zone where people could have more freedom and economic freedoms and social freedoms and stuff like that. Yeah, that's
Still waiting on that one.
I know. I'm working on it, man. But this isn't the kind of thing that gets done overnight.
No.
I'm still waiting on
Neither
y'all
is
going
the
and screaming at the
dissolution of the
governor to
state.
do something. What?
Neither is the dissolution of the state. All
No,
of these
it's-
things take a very long time.
Yeah, the dissolution of the state isn't going to work by yelling at the state. All you're doing is
All you're doing is inviting invasion by the state. You have
Well,
the
the point
special
on
economic
Saturday-
zone, and you think the United States military is actually going to allow this taxless place to continue existing?
I'm not going out Saturday to yell at the state. I'm going out Saturday to connect with other human beings and talk to them and give them information about secession and, hear what they have to say and how they're feeling. And that, connecting with other people. That's what events like protests are about for me. It's not about convincing some statist of something.
I'd also point out that you said, thanks for going out to defend my freedoms. And I realize you were being a bit facetious with that, but I don't give a damn about your freedoms. I was out there defending my freedoms.
Well,
those are the ones I care about.
People don't care if you defend your own. They care if you defend other people's. So
by
they
defending
want
my own, I'm defending other people's. But let's not pretend like it was some selfless thing.
Well,
I'm not. We weren't out there like, we're here for Mark Edge's freedom.
Okay, well, go ahead and shake a copy of Atlas Shrugged at them.
I've never read Atlas Shrugged.
Me neither.
So I can't.
I'm just saying, that sounds very much like the sort of anti-altruism arguments of Ayn Rand.
Okay.
Who did you interview, Mark? We're going to be playing an interview coming up, I think.
Yeah, I interviewed the folks from Divi, and it's really cool.
They got some cool stuff going on over there.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We've got that coming up in just a moment. So if you like the show, again, head on over to app.freetalklive.com or just go to the website to check out the archive there going back more than 10 years. That's freetalklive.com.
Houseflies defecate every 4 to 5 minutes, spreading diseases and germs. Protect your food and your health with Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic, no batteries required. Only $39.95. Use discount code GCN and get an extra 10% off your purchase at bugassault.com. Fire your fly swatter. Get your Bug Assault today.
Hand sanitizer is not an option, it's now a must-have. But where can you find it? Online at 2020safe.net. The highest quality hand sanitizer that destroys microorganisms and prevents transmission of pathogens. Now available in a 1-liter bottle with a bonus at 2020safe.net. When you order a 1-liter bottle of our high-quality hand sanitizer, you'll receive a 30-count bottle of Immune Booster, a $14.95 value, free by using code GCN at checkout. 2020safe.net offers many natural products to help support health and help you live a more fulfilled life. From germ-zapping hand sanitizer to immune-building nutraceuticals to natural stress, anxiety, and sleep aids. 2020safe.net has what you need in stock today. Just click 2020safe.net. That's 2020safe.net to get our 1-liter bottle of high-quality hand sanitizer with your bonus free 30-count bottle of Immune Booster. Remember to enter GCN at checkout and the bonus is yours free. Go now to 2020safe.net.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at GCNlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at GCNlife.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
All right, it's another edition of the Edgington Post Show here on Free Talk Live. This is Mark Edge, and today I have with me Nick Saponaro from Divvy. Nick, you there?
I am here. Thanks for having me.
Sure. We've been talking about Divvy on Free Talk Live for some time now, and it's my understanding that there's a bit of a milestone that's been reached. You guys are in beta?
Yeah, we will be in beta on the 29th of this month, which is about a week from today. Actually, less than a week. It's an incredibly exciting milestone for me as somebody who's been working on this project for 3 years and this app particularly for like a year now. So yeah, I mean, I think our community is extremely excited, and we have like 7,000 people that have signed up to pre-order the wallet, and yeah, it's a big day.
And it's the wallet that we've been talking about on Free Talk Live that's coming in beta. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, it's our, we call it our Divvy 2.0 application suite. It's completely revamped, renovated, and totally consolidates all of the fragmented value chain issues that we see in not just crypto, but digital finance as a whole.
What are some of the things that one can expect from the new wallet? So a wallet is an application, an app for your phone, and this will be available in the app stores?
Yep, it'll be on Android and iOS at launch.
Okay.
And exactly, it's just like any finance app generally that you would have on your phone, like if you use Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, those types of things. But it differs in that it actually has cryptocurrency functionality as well. And the beauty of it is, first of all, you can onboard in 10 seconds. We've already been testing this. So it's easily the fastest onboarding of any crypto wallet that I've seen.
And that's Divvy's real claim to fame is that they make cryptocurrency, which has been complicated and upsetting for people for some time, as easy as they possibly can make it. The idea is it's so easy your grandmother can handle it, right? And by the way, if you don't have, if your grandmother isn't alive now, they're talking about you, so you can handle it.
Exactly. And we do have several grandmothers and grandfathers using our current application that's out right now. And that one's not even as easy as the one that's about to come out. So you can imagine it's only going to get easier from here. I'm really excited about the fact that anyone from any sort of core competency on Earth can get involved. It's literally, you just sign up for the app and we'll actually give you 50 Divvy just for going through the sign-up process. Now you're a crypto owner out of the gate. It's the easiest onboarding that I've seen. And then from there, you can do everything from set up an international bank account number and send money all over the world to anybody who can accept payment in that way.
Through a bank account?
Exchange. Yeah. So IBANs, or international bank account numbers, are basically how most of the non-North American world transact. Now, in North America, we use something called ACH, which we'll also have. But you'll actually be able to create your own bank account number right there in our app and manage your finances right there. So we kind of obviate the need for your Wells Fargo and all of the other criminal organizations that have been hoarding our money for so long.
So, like I can take a payment from a friend in some kind of cryptocurrency, right? And then I can take that cryptocurrency and I can send it to my bank account, and all this stuff is seamless. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yep. The beauty is the fact that we own all of the pieces of the value chain and they're all right within the wallet. You do your sign up, your KYC, whatever's required to meet the compliance regulations. You do it once. The problem I always have is like some exchanges I have multiple accounts on because I have my own coin and we do various things trading on those exchanges, right? So I have to do KYC 2, 3, 4 times on the same exchange. It makes no sense. With our platform, you can actually, we're passing all the KYC data securely and privately in the background. So you only sign up once, and then everything from there is one click. So if you want to set up a bank account number, one click. Set up a masternode, one click. Buy some Bitcoin, same thing. It's all seamless, frictionless. That's the goal.
Wow. So this is a big deal for those that don't understand what a big deal this is. Essentially, the problems with cryptocurrency up to this point have been the just sort of moving back and forth. not as much the cryptocurrencies themselves. That can be done inside of an app. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but you can use Shapeshift.io or something like that, and you can take your Dash and you can turn it into Bitcoin Cash or something there, and that can be done. But to have it, quickly and easily move from Divi into Bitcoin Cash into Cash or whatever it is that you need it to do, I'm excited to try this out because I can only imagine how easy this is going to make things. I'm concerned, though. I mean, there are people that would be making some large transactions. I mean, don't you have to have reserves of every sort to make this happen? How's this going to work?
Yeah, so initially we'll only launch with Divi, Bitcoin, and the 3 fiat currencies that we support, which are the Costa Rican colones, USD, of course, and the euro.
Those are big deals. That's covering a good portion of the globe there.
It covers quite a few people, right? So we have the resources to provide enough liquidity to do pretty much everything we need to do with Bitcoin and Divi, and of course fiat as well. And as the ecosystem grows, we'll start to add more coins. We'll have more resources to have more liquidity. We'll always ensure that the user comes first, of course, and that the experience is seamless. We even have fallbacks for providing liquidity throughout different exchange networks and partners like that. But yeah, I mean, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. There's always an answer if you're willing to do the work.
Wow. This is pretty exciting stuff. You said that you had more things going on. I hesitate to ask. I mean, I feel like this is as much information as one needs for an interview. This is a big deal. And you say it's going to be May the 29th this is available. So
April 29th we go into beta.
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at the calendar wrong. Excuse me.
No.
Looking
totally
at May
fine.
right here. April 29th.
Yep, April 29th will be in beta. It's a pseudo public beta. We have volunteer bit testers. If you guys want to test it, just reach out to us on Telegram. We're happy to onboard anybody.
How do we do that?
It's t.me/Divi Project,
Okay.
or you can find us on social media at Divi Project and just ask.
Okay. So to get in on the beta, the first thing to do is to go to the Telegram group, and then you can get it. So it won't be in the iOS and Android store right off?
Not initially. So we have to do our testing, we have to do our security, but we're in the final stages, I would say. We don't have an exact date that we're ready to promote as far as the launch goes, but very, very soon.
We've been waiting for it, but I mean, it sounds like it's really going to be worth it.
We've really taken our time because we had an app basically finished that was a fork of BitPay, and BitPay is great. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't what we wanted to build. It was kind of hacked together. What you're going to see, I believe, is well worth the wait. I mean, the fact that you have all of the features of a bank as well as all the features of a world-class crypto wallet in one place, I think it's going to be worth it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, one of the complaints that what you're talking about there is one of the complaints about the crypto world generally is that everything works. It just doesn't work as seamlessly and easy as it could. And, it's not an insult because it's working, but you guys at Divi really, I mean, that's your whole goal is to make things simple. And you've had a lot of luck up to this point.
Have.
And we at Free Talk Live, we've been master noding for you guys for some time. We're pretty excited about that. And so it's going to make it very easy for us, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We're just testing today a way for you to recover your wallet with just a scan of a QR code. So if you're running a masternode right now, or you're staking your wallet, you don't want to have to go through the process of setting everything up again, right?
Right.
So we've made it so that you literally just scan the screen and all your stuff just loads right in into your phone, and then you're off to the races again.
Are you guys doing this full time? How are you doing this?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I feel like none of us really sleep, but we do it full time. Everybody on the team is 100% full time, and probably more time than they're contracted for. Most of them,
Yeah, a little more time than usual over the last month too, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're really ramping up, and everybody's all hands on deck. It's really fun to watch, just the passion across the team, because everyone's, in my opinion, at this stage of a company, everyone's an owner. Everyone feels like an owner, even if they're not entrepreneurs. you own your piece of the puzzle. And I think that really motivates people.
So the place to go for this is diviproject.org. That's DIVI, diviproject.org. They're going to have the Telegram group and all that stuff is going to be right there on the front page. Nick, thank you so much for spending this kind of time with me, and I'm really excited about this project.
Me too. I'm so glad that you had me on to discuss it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. diviproject.org.
This has been Free Talk Live. If you like the show, if you enjoy what we're doing, be sure to head on over to freetalklive.com. We've got an archive there and some blogs and all the other cool stuff. Again, check that out. You can find it at freetalklive.com. We'll be back same time tomorrow, freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to